Discovery.
Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about, it's an emergency broadcast, change the bulb.
It's an emergency.
Yep.
It's Venezuela, because it's a bit of a hot topic, so we thought we'd have a look at it.
And educate me on not only where Venezuela is geographically speaking, but also what the fuck's going on there. So it's learn along with Gaz.
And me
again.
this week, to be fair, because I've had to learn a lot of this in a couple of days, and I wasn't following this. In all fairness, I've been too frothing at the mouth over Brexit.
I'm a bit of a political nerd, so I've been following it for a bit.
I haven't. See the new Avengers teaser?
I didn't actually.
It's very brief, not a lot happens. I think it shows Captain America in a sort of like self-help group situation.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I think I may have seen that. There's a poster on the wall, like, now they're gone, what do you do kind of thing.
And he says, like, some people move on, not us. And then you see another shot of, like, him and the ones that are left walking through Avengers, and it's like, not us. And that's it, quite sombre, but we'll get your nerd boner fucking raging.
A couple more months.
Well more interested than Brexit, if you ask me.
It is.
Anything's more fucking interesting than Brexit.
Yeah.
I did see a
Me
picture
shitting
today.
in a bucket is more interesting.
So
That's the next Facebook Live post. Mike sitting in a bucket.
I
Trying to prove it's more interesting than Brexit.
I saw this on Twitter basically, so I don't know the full story. It's like, I know that guy Donald Tusk, not Trump, said something about there's a special place in hell for you people, and then it showed a picture today. Somebody tweeted it was a picture of Mr. Tusk at like some protest, like when he was very young, right? And he's he's got like a denim jacket with a bit of. He looks like just a student, you know, like a normal, not an elite person. No, then there is a picture of Rees Mogg, right? And I'm telling you, he's about 12 years old in the picture, possibly younger. He's a child. And he's wearing a full, like, a man suit with, like, a sheepskin coat and a monocle. Yeah. Oh, Lord. No wonder he grew up to be... But I couldn't help but thinking, seeing his picture, it'd been amazing if a bus had hit him while he was stood there posing.
I think that massive house behind him is actually his house, probably, as well.
That's my political knowledge of this week. So yeah, so we should probably explain, Ben.
And mostly a bit of a shout out.
Some new listeners.
Yeah. Well, we got them Vietnam.
Yeah. Spain, Austria,
Indonesia. We had Indonesia before. Philippines.
Hong Kong.
68. Ooh.
Yeah. So thanks for all the listeners.
Yes, thank you very much. Keep listening.
It's appreciated.
Let us down, UK.
And if you're bots, thanks as well, I guess. Don't take over.
I don't care.
As long as you're listening to podcasts and not taking my job or raping my anus.
And actually, I've got one thing big in the news this week. Liam Neeson.
I thought he was going to say one thing for my anus.
That's been big in the news this week.
I hope not. Liam Neeson's got something for my anus.
Yes.
It's a cosh. Actually, I'm white, I'll be fine. And I've never raped anybody.
There you go.
If you haven't heard the story, listener, I should probably clarify, because that would have sounded like some very weird things of me to just say. Context is key.
It is.
What did he said it is, because his new film's called Vengeance, so he's talking about the act of revenge and feeling vengeful, and he regaled the interviewer. I don't know why, I do think it was a peculiar story to pick, but he obviously wasn't thinking of today's modern outrage culture.
He's been a bit too truthful.
Maybe he should have not said anything.
Too much truth. She asked him about revenge, vengeful feelings, and he tried to think of a genuine time in his life when he genuinely felt it, and you're right, bang on, Mike, he gave an honest answer. and it proved to be too much for the
What did he
world of
say?
social media. He said his friend got raped.
And he heard it was a black guy.
Yeah, so he walked around with a kosh for about a week, just looking for a black guy to take out his revenge. And then he saw sense and the shame and the error of his ways of labelling an entire, you know, you can't, just because one black man did something very bad to his friend, he cannot.
Well, I'm with John Barnes on this. And
And
the
me.
fact that, you saw the interview with John Barnes as well.
Because he's black, so he can talk about it, and like, everyone else can shut the fuck up, really. But
Well, I'm open to the other, the other side as well. Completely understand their anger at it, but I mean, I'm also with John Barnes as well. I'm sort of on the fence here. Really.
it was took out of context, and for the listener, if you don't know, John Barnes said, give him a medal, because he was talking about having those feelings, realising those feelings are wrong, and being honest about it, and what I loved what John Barnes said as well, it was about like people like Piers Morgan and that, being offended on behalf of black people, if you know what I mean. He's like, what do you know about being black? You can't tell a black person how they feel, and stop. By saying black people, in quotes, are offended by this, you're not individualising us.
That's it. Of course you respect the fact they're offended by it. They've got the complete right to. I just think, in context, what John Barnes was saying makes sense as well.
And to me, I don't think anything Liam Neeson said, if he'd have ended the story with, and you know what, I still fucking hate the cunts to this fucking day. Every time I fucking see one, I feel me cosh fingers
Trembling away.
Yeah. But no, he didn't, did he? He said, I saw the error of my ways and how ridiculous my feelings were. And wrong.
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing, but...
Same thing is happening in America with politician Tulsi Gabbard. And she was anti-gay because her father was anti-gay activist.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's come out and said, now look, my beliefs were wrong. They were, I've thought more about what those beliefs were and how they impacted other people. I've come to believe now that was wrong thinking.
Are they forgiving her?
Have they fuck?
Exactly, see? People aren't allowed to change, you can't grow.
Actually,
Well, they don't want him because he's anti-war.
my favourite change story this week is a gay conversion guy for the Mormons who's now in a homosexual relationship,
Well, there you go.
which is nice.
The bigger the front, the bigger the back. Like, to quote Joe Rogan, yes, I am a fan. People that go on the loudest about, anti-homosexual,
Yeah.
are the ones that deep down are secretly terrified that dick is yummy. You know what I mean? They're definitely, the louder they go on about it, the more likely they are to be.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I do. Well, Joe's right.
I hate sexy people. God, I hate sexy people with their big dicks.
You must really hate me.
I'm always banging on about it, aren't I, about how much I hate sexy people.
I never knew you felt that way about me.
Well,
That's all I've done for you.
I'm sexy. Somebody
so-
tell me I'm sexy. Imagine if this is somebody's first show. You should probably tell them what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Man. How does it work?
In a bit, we're going to talk about Venezuela, but first, we're going to do weird news. This will be sort of 20 minutes, half an hour about that, where we discuss some random stuff we found on the net this week.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So let's crack on. What we got up first then?
From the Daily Mail.
Oh, the Daily Mail, a fine, reputable piece of journalistic integrity.
Although it has been scientifically proven now not to be.
But I saw the headline.
It's
I was
fine.
wooed by the headline. Deadly disease that turns deer into zombies has spread to 26 states, new report warns, amid fears it could one day be transmitted to humans.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Don't get bit by a zombie deer.
When they say zombie, right?
They don't mean undead in this scenario.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they walk around with bits of them missing, going, I don't know what sound a deer makes.
Couldn't tell you to be
That's close enough.
fair. Fuck it, why not?
With like their antlers, horns, like crumbled away with, gore on them and stuff.
Oh, they're cating gore. That's where they're hanging their victims from to feast.
Eating brains.
Yeah.
And they're walking really slowly though on Fallout.
They are walking really slowly.
Yeah.
So a deadly infection that's come to be known as zombie deer disease is spreading across North America, a new report warns. Formerly called chronic wasting disease, the illness attacks the brain, spinal cord and other tissues in deer, elk and moose. It eventually leads to death, but not before causing the animal to dramatically lose weight and coordination and become aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's more of a sheep, wasn't it?
You've got a lot of experience with them, I'm sure.
Hey!
You've admitted it several times.
It's my national pastime. Never leave home without your Velcro gloves.
Well, that and rugby, Gaz.
Yeah, what do you think you do after a good rugby game? How do you celebrate? Chuck a sheep in the shower, innit?
Not a zombie deer, though. Never a zombie deer.
Not even for a laugh.
No. According to the CDC, that's the Centre for Disease Control, isn't it?
Yeah.
I learned that from The Walking Dead.
Well, from that time you had herpes.
I didn't go all the way to America to get my herpes treated, Gaz. This was the NHS.
Super herpes.
Oh man, I went all the way to Timbuktu.
That's where you called it from.
Is Timbuktu a real place?
I don't know, is it?
I think so. I don't know. I also don't care. That's the thing. Sorry anyone that's listening in Timbuktu.
They're not listening.
They might be.
We've got Macau in Hong Kong, so why not?
Do you think they've got the internet in Timbuktu?
Might have.
It's probably a really well developed country and I'm an absolute ignorant prick. That's why I'm talking on the internet. Hello. What is a zombie deer?
Though warnings over zombie deer disease over the past few years have caused many to draw parallels to the mad cow epidemic, there's so far no evidence that people can be harmed by infected meat.
Fucking hell. Imagine if during the mad cow disease scare in Britain, if it was called zombie cow disease, I would have been, get those cows on the fire! Do you know what I mean? There'd have been no shame. Oh, it's such a shame burning all those cars. Burn the cows!
A horde of zombie cows rampaging the streets, devouring people as they try to flee. That's not a pleasant fucking...
People get killed by cows all the time in Britain, in the
But
countryside.
then again,
Did you
being
know that?
impaled by a zombie deer's antlers and then having your legs eaten off
Not a good
while
way to
just
go.
hung up there, that's not a good way to go either.
You should be. You're a dog walker. Dog walkers. There's like.
I've never found a body.
There's a large statistic of dog walkers get trampled by cows because they think, oh, we can walk past the nice gentle cows, and they weigh like 5 tons each, and they fucking storm you because your dog was getting excited and you die. Many people die this way. Don't go by the cows.
I
man.
don't. There's no cows in Telford.
Good. They all got stabbed.
But it'll be slaughtered.
It's a very stabby town. Well, they got sold into child sex slavery.
Oh god. Cow grooming gangs,
The two things this town is famous for.
knife crime and sex slavery.
I forgot underage pregnancies.
Oh god, yeah, we used to be top at that, didn't we?
We did.
We couldn't even keep that up though, could we? We lost that title. Fucking shithole.
At the end of this article, if we just scroll down a bit, says that this can be passed on to what are them little monkeys called? They're macaws. Macaws?
Yeah.
Macaques.
Macaques, that's it. So there's a theory that it can jump to us.
So if your macaque gets bitten by a zombie deer, don't put your dick in its mouth.
Or let it anywhere near you, in all fairness.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire. Deodorant can, lighter.
Yeah. It's gonna suck for the monkey and I don't want to hear that sound.
Of a burning, aggression-fueled monkey coming in your eyes.
Imagine the screams. Oh fuck.
Well, do you know what they used to do in the old times when they used to fight elephants?
No.
They used to smear
Who was
pigs in
fighting?
oil.
Smear pigs in oil.
A fight with...
Fight against elephants.
I was going to say, who's fighting with an elephant?
I mean, in armies.
Oh,
Some of the armies had elephants.
Yeah, they did Hannibal, most
They
notably,
used to smear the pigs in oil, set them on fire, and make them run towards the enemy.
Yeah, that's true. And
Scare
it
the elephants.
wasn't just the elephants, it was really effective at breaking up mass troop formations.
Oh,
Horrific,
man.
isn't it?
What?
Of course, the bonus is sometimes you might get a bit of fried pork after the battle if you survive.
But couldn't you just
I don't get it overdone.
get one of your braver men to just sort of grab it really quick and spin it round 180 degrees and send it back? It's going to keep running wherever it goes and just turn it around. Wah! And off you go that way. Chaos.
Yeah, that was a legitimate tactic, yeah.
Wow.
Mind you, no more so than the Russians who in World War II decided they were going to use tanks to lay anti-tank mines under the tanks.
Right.
It was a one-way trip for the dog.
The dogs, yeah.
Yeah, the bomb dogs.
And they were just bastards.
But they realised that because the hilarious thing is though, well not hilarious to the dogs, so in the training missions, they used diesel-fueled tanks. All the German tanks were petrol-fueled. So when they actually tried to use the dogs, they all ran for the diesel-fueled tanks, which are the Russians, and blew them up.
Well. At least
Bit of revenge for the dogs, at least.
Didn't they attach machine guns to dolphins?
No, I don't think so.
that's from like a 90s cartoon.
Was it?
Isn't it Waterworld, the movie? I'm joking. But like, is the
Wouldn't
modern
surprise me if
equivalent...
G.I. Joe had something like that.
Well, we don't light pigs on fire anymore, but like, could you like set a drone on fire and just fly it into somebody?
They use it as a missile nowadays. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Just thinking, how do you weaponise fire these days? You couldn't get a pig; they'd be up in arms. So, like that drone on fire.
You get incendiary rounds.
You could have
You got incendiary rounds.
attach one of those Chinese lanterns to the bottom of a drone,
Yeah,
and then you've weaponised fire. Haven't you? Just fly it in somewhere
true.
that's flammable. That's key.
Well, yeah. It is if you're using fire. So yeah, that's that. We could all be bitten by zombie deers.
Are these all the states? I'm pointing to a picture for
Yeah.
the listener. It's showing a diagram of all the states that are affected with zombie deer, and it looks like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not all states, are they? They're
Those are
county-
outbreaks. There's obviously a major outbreak in the centre of the USA. And
Wow.
it's spreading into Canada as well, apparently. Watch out for the zombie deer apocalypse.
We've got that to look forward to then.
Yep,
Wow, things are going swimmingly.
they are.
Yeah, like it's going by the book. Some might say.
Oh, God.
Some might say the prophecy is coming true.
Are you got all Bible? Have you been reading the Bible or something?
Jesus will return. I will return.
Oh, have you become a born again Christian, Gaz, in the week since you've seen it?
No,
That's alright then.
it does sound all a bit like it's going by the book, though, doesn't it? It's a bit weird,
It
doesn't it?
doesn't mention all of this crap that's going on.
The maniacs, the right-wing Christians, they actually want this to happen and they're forcing it.
Yeah, so they're forcing it to go by the book.
What if the crazy man that you see in every town, every city on a Saturday, standing there being ignored by everyone in the city centre, screaming about the end, what if they're the ones that are right?
Well, they're probably not though.
Might be.
Yeah, but they also
Might
believe
be.
there's an imaginary man in the sky.
Stranger things have happened. No, I'm joking. If this is your first episode, I've been a bit weird so far. I'm not religious or racist. I'm just fucking about trying to make a funny podcast. But why was I talking about God anyway?
I don't know, but let's get the next article.
That sounds like a plan.
A jogger killed a mountain lion with his bare hands after it attacked him on a trail. And I'd like to give my hardest bastard of the year so far award to this man.
Oh wow.
He's up there. Well, he's not beating that Australian bloke who got part of his leg bit off, then went for a beer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did he?
he got
That's
he got attacked by a shark, got part of his leg bit off, had it all bound up, and went to the pub.
What a top bloke.
A man who has not been identified was trail running on the West Ridge Trail at Horsetooth Mountain open space in Fort Collins when he heard something behind him. When he turned around, he saw the mountain lion. The animal lunged at him and bit him on the face and wrist.
Fuck.
The runner, however, fought back. He was able to suffocate the animal with his bare hands, killing it. He didn't use any weapons.
That's an hard bastard, to be fair.
Yeah.
I bet he knew a bit of jiu-jitsu, and that's why it came to his mind, like, I've got to choke this cunt. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
suffocate, he didn't pull out a plastic bag from his rucksack and put it over
Gonna
his
go
head. You know, he must have put he must have choked the fucker to death.
Yeah,
right?
with his bare hands. Yeah.
But I bet he knew his shit, basically.
He
What
knew where
I'm
to
saying.
sort of-
He like put on a proper like jiu-jitsu fucking rear naked chokehold and like,
I think more than like the lion was on top of him, biting his face, and he just grabbed it round the throat and squeezed as hard as he could.
he must have like,
Possibly while punching it.
he must have hands like fucking. Like, who was he? Like fucking. Did it attack Captain America out for his morning jog?
Maybe.
Might be the giant.
Or like Dog Man. You attacked the wrong half-breed cat.
Perhaps this guy's half Bigfoot.
Maybe. He hasn't been identified.
That's it. They can't give away the.
They can't give him the big secret. The Bigfoot jogs.
Son of Bigfoot.
Jogging. He invented jogging. Some hippie in the 70s saw it out in the woods, and he was so tripped out that he didn't. He just put it down to the drugs, and he spread jogging.
I thought Forrest Gump invented jogging.
Oh yeah, he did actually, didn't he? And the smiley face.
Yeah.
That Forrest Gump. He should be president.
The sequel, he probably will be.
I don't know what democracy is.
But I know I like it. That's the entire thing he runs on.
Still do a better job than Trump.
Oh, Donny Tiny Hands is wonderful.
He called for a bit of calm the other day, didn't he? Now, this is a bit I caught on a podcast that in his State of the Union, he says, I don't want martial law, we need a bit of calm down now, everybody. I'm not going to,
That's because he knows everyone's against his wall, even the public.
Well,
so he's
but
a
you
base
still,
left that want it.
But this is the point, though. Everyone still jumped on his ass. Because I know he's a prick, but all I'm saying is...
He had to back down, didn't he?
Yeah, but shouldn't they have commended the fact that he did it and he was like, look, let's all chill out a bit now. No one can praise him, see? They refuse to. And if you do, then you're a MAGA hat wearing... Oh, I like the fact that the MAGA kid...
I tell you what, I do praise him on the North Korea talks.
Mm-hmm.
He's done well there to get...
Yeah,
conversations
he's
going.
told North Korea, alright, stop making nukes and some arrangement. But then he's pulled out of the massive one with Russia about the nuclear arms.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah.
I said
Sorry,
North
mate.
Korea. Russia, I don't. Obviously, I don't condone it. I'm against him on it. But
Well, you win some, you lose some, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Some
he-
are score draws.
Yeah, but there's North Korea who are 20 years away from even getting a missile anywhere near America, and the Russians who are developing a new generation nuclear weapons called fucking Lucifer 2.
What
Yeah, better than the original Lucifer.
have the Russians ever done? I've seen Rocky 4.
I could change. You could change. We can all change.
That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a sporting event and we'll all be friends.
Well, the people in the deep state don't change. That's a problem.
No.
But they're the ones trying to manipulate civil war, aren't they?
I don't
need your civil war. It's coming true.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. But yeah.
They probably will, and eventually, even in this country, it's a possibility. I mean, both countries are massively split.
The South will rise again.
Well, they'd have a go.
Imagine if that was in this country. The South will rise again. No, you won't, you fat cunt. It's too cold up here for you.
And we drink proper drink up here, not fucking lager.
You can't afford the train up here. Bear in mind, none of us can even afford a sandwich in post-Brexit Britain, but
No.
I've also been told that might all be scaremongering.
Well, it's quite possible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
And
possible.
everything might just be like,
Yeah.
a bit like, remember the Millennium Bug?
Yeah, but people spent like 10 years working on that
Mm.
to get it out of the system, like updates, software updates for literally everything they could think of that might cause a system
But if
crash.
there's no deal, then we're going to have panic stations, aren't we? Because we've got to get trade deals done and all this shit.
Yeah,
They've
but
done
it'll
nothing,
take
have they?
years.
Yeah, but we haven't got to do that, have we?
Well, no, we
so we'll
don't.
just sit back and have a cup of tea
Yeah, we
and
need a
wait
trade
till it
deal.
all
Yeah,
blows over.
we need a
There's
trade
no
deal
tea.
with-
There's no tea because
We can still have deals with China.
We need to trade deals with China and send the boys from the apocalypse.
We're not leaving. Yeah, we're not leaving India,
We
mate.
Yeah,
two
but
are
they might
stoned
just-
as fuck and trying to negotiate a trade deal with the Chinese.
they might be stuck at the ports.
What we want,
Nobody's
we
going to
need
wave them
tea.
through.
Are they?
They said if there's
What,
a no deal.
if it's a Chinaman on the bow, wave them through.
No, it's all the lorry backlog. Like, you know when we were trying to take back our borders and make Britain more secure? If it all goes tits up...
I don't want it to be so
there's
secure
a-
we can't eat.
and there's a backlog,
Right.
they're just going to wave all the lorries through without even going to check them.
I told
Isn't
you
that
that.
what Gaz
Didn't I
said?
say that
Yeah.
in Brexit? I said that and you laughed at me and you said there could be a bomb in there.
Well,
and I
that's the
said,
point,
yeah,
isn't
and
it?
loads of free drugs.
That's the point though, isn't it? There could be a bomb in there.
There won't be. There'll be loads
Could
of
be
fucking
full of
asylum-
guns.
It'll be full of fucking Syrians.
Well, but
That wasn't a racial
But
comment.
that was the point about Brexit, was making the border secure again. And
Well, isn't that even more fucking hilarious then?
exactly.
The Gammons will be fucking even redder. They'll be so red they'll fall over.
Yeah, but that'll cause a massive strain on the already overstretched NHS if all the Gammons have a heart attack on the same day.
So what you're saying is either way we're fucked.
Yeah.
Wow, I've had a lot of coffee today.
Yeah.
But-
Anyway, that's that article.
Next one.
Yes, please, yes. Right, quote.
He looks like me.
Poo-wooed Gaz smears on his own face in campaign to make men love their bums.
To be clear, it is poo.
It is poo. Atlas Talisman, 37, from Sydney, Australia, says he's happy to be the butt of jokes in his bid to break down the stigma.
What stigma? I just don't know. Sure.
So a self-proclaimed poo wizard has smeared his own feces over his face in a bid to break down stigma attached to the male rear end. Atlas Talisman, 37, believes men's bums have fallen under societal shame in the present day because of homophobic and germophobic values.
The germophobic, I'm with that.
Yeah,
You're smearing
mate,
poo
yeah.
on your face.
I mean, alright, I might not use the fucking Purell every time I go to the toilet, but I'm pretty sure that smearing shit on my face is not hygienic.
And is this how the gays do it?
That's how you can tell that gay.
You look like a lovely, charming man, but there's only one way to know for sure. Oh, don't tease me. Here it comes. Poopy face. No, they don't. So what does rubbing shit on your face even prove? And your name's Atlas. Get to fuck. Atlas Talisman. It's not a real name. You made that up.
He's got a man bun like you.
For the fucking listener, I have not got a man bun. I simply have my hair tied up like a
You had
manly
said
man.
when you walked in it was a man bun.
Yeah, but that sounds a bit, wanky and like, my name's Jeffrey and I drink my tea from a recycled jam jar. I don't! I'm a man! I drive a van and I ogle women.
He's also made a painting out of his own shit.
Oh, God, he's deranged!
That's fucking vile.
He wants, but he's clearly, am I genuinely supposed to believe that his family name is Talisman?
No, I think he's changed his name.
Of course Atlas Talisman! And did it say he was Australian?
Yeah.
New Zealand?
Australians and Sydney.
Atlas. I'm Atlas Taliban, I nearly said then. Atlas Taliban.
Go on then.
Isn't he the bloke who wraps the shite on his face? Oh,
Read
fuck
what he
it.
says in the accent then, Gaz.
Where does it start? For too long, the anus has been associated with homo, or pervert, or dirty, which make men scared of exploring this part of the body. The rectum has been put, quote, out of bounds, and it's time to reconnect with it in celebration and I've lost the accent, and respect. I know that it takes someone to dive in face first and get this topic out in the open, so I guess that person is me. Do you feel that we have a problem with our bums? Did you think
Not particularly.
Well, you see,
it just doesn't come up in conversation very often?
From day one,
How's
it's
your
only-
arse, Ben?
It's alright, thanks.
How's your arse, Mike?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Mine's fine too. So there you go, Atlas. You can stop rubbing shit on your face. Have a wash and get a fucking job.
And stop looking so much like Gaz.
Fuck off.
With your man bun.
I knew. As soon as I put my hair up this morning. Shall I leave it in for tonight or shall I take it down? Ben's bound to comment, but oh, never mind. It's just hair. But yes.
At least you're not ripping your socks.
What's wrong with my socks? Green with apples on them.
Yeah, well.
Well, it's okay. And for the listener, I'm not some hideous monster. I sleep in the arms of a lovely woman, so I'm comfortable in my man bun green apple socks. Not Apple the phone, I'm not a corporate whore. I'm just a shit fashion.
So
Read the fucking news. Next story.
Oh,
Enough
that's
of
the last
this.
one, we're on to Venezuela.
Fucking hell.
So, Mike, let's start with Venezuela. You're educating me as well as Gaz this week.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, it's in South America, as Gaz rightly knew.
Hey!
How many million people live there?
Do they
Gaz?
speak a bit Spanishy then?
They do.
So all of my genetic South American accents will be fine.
Yes,
Hey.
in theory.
Bit of
That
money.
was a little bit
How
more.
many millions? No, sorry. Is it small?
Hey,
Is it small?
Um,
30 million?
30 million spot on, yeah.
Yeah. The stuff I watched did sink in.
For scale, what's Britain?
65.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So that's
maybe nearly 70.
still quite a lot of people, 30 million, I guess, then, isn't it? But it's not a, you know, it's not huge.
Yeah. Until recently had the world's best economy in South America.
Wow.
So better
It's
than
got the
Argentina,
world's-
better than
yeah.
Brazil.
But how do you
Six,
rank best? Like what? Like
GDP.
oh, okay. What are
Gross
they
domestic
pumping out
product.
from?
Oil. The world's largest oil reserves.
Oh, now I know why it's in there.
Yeah. You got it straight away. I was going to build up to it, but Kansas gets it.
Fucking hell.
That's how predictable they are.
They don't change.
They're just not lying anymore.
95% of their exports are oil.
Yeah.
What's the other 5% like novelty gifts or something?
Cocaine. Possibly. I don't know.
Probably bananas.
They're next to
or something,
Colombia,
or
so maybe.
Cocoa or sugar, whatever. I don't know what they grow down there.
Venezuela.
Coffee beans.
Cocaine.
Oil. I'm surprised that we didn't invade it during the early 2000s.
Wow.
About too many.
They did try.
Ah.
Right, so this all happened because on January the 23rd this year, as recording is the 8th of February, the US recognised Juan Guaido as president.
Right. What's up with him then? Did he win an election?
Well, should we have what the US said about him?
Yes.
There's a little clip, only 30 seconds.
Yesterday, in solidarity with the Venezuelan people and out of respect for Venezuelan democracy, the United States proudly recognized National Assembly President Juan Guaido as the interim president of Venezuela. The time for debate is done. The regime of former President Nicolas Maduro is illegitimate. His regime is morally bankrupt. It's economically incompetent, and it is profoundly corrupt.
But were they democratic? Fucking.
Yeah, democratically
You knew what I
elected.
meant.
Yeah.
Yay!
This Juan Guaido
Democratically
is leader of the
elected.
National Assembly, so effectively he's like the Speaker of the House in the US.
Right.
So it's like China basically saying, look, Trump, you made a mess of the economy. You know, what we're going to do, we're going to come in, we're going to install Nancy Pelosi, who is the Speaker of the House, as president.
Right.
It's effectively what is similar.
But why do America get to say to
Well,
these?
yeah.
Hey,
Question, innit?
imagine now then if somebody.
Do you know this Juan Guaido, 81% of the population didn't even know who he was.
Well,
So it's like now, to get this straight in my head, it's like because a load of shit's going on with Brexit, they're fucking everything up. No deal happens, and like, I don't know, Turkey or someone's just like, right, you lot, you fucked this up way too much. Fuck off over. Here's your new leader.
yeah.
Yep.
It's no different,
UKIP
is it?
leader, 81% probably don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, because John
Batten.
Berco's the Speaker of the.
Yeah, Speaker.
But why do America?
It's like them-
is it because it's the Unite? They are still part
Because
of America.
Team America, World Police,
Fucking hell.
America.
Fuck yeah!
Gonna save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Yeah, bastards. Well, then,
Sorry, Mike.
it's funny how they keep saving all these oil-rich places, though, isn't it?
Strange, isn't it? Never bother with anywhere like shit.
Where really bad stuff's happening. Like
Yeah.
lots of African countries where, like, you know, child soldiers and all that.
Yeah.
Well, shall I give you a bit of history?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
The political history of Venezuela.
Can I give you a fact if you haven't got it already?
Oh, actually, if you got Juan Guaido, we'll find out who he is.
Can we call him Guido?
Yeah.
'Cause it just sounds funny.
Could be Guido. I don't know who it is. To be fair. Did you
But I
get
think
the,
a Guido is an
Wikipedia
Italian
up?
chap.
Hang on. So Juan Guido was he's the president. Juan Guido is he's the president of the National Assembly of Venezuela. He's been held that position since the 5th of January 2019. He's now the interim president, or he claims he is. Also, the Americans and the EU and various other countries think he is. And he was educated in America in an Ivy League college.
Yep.
So he's very much one of the boys.
One of his mentors, I think, was the president of the IMF.
Wow. So
Yeah.
International Monetary Fund.
Yeah.
And he's 35. So he's same age as us.
Fucking hell.
And
I've
he's
done
interim
fuck
president
all
of a
in my
fucking
life.
country.
I have done
Well,
fuck all.
Illegitimate president.
Allegedly.
Hey,
We'll
you don't
find
know
out.
nothing about his parentage. His mum loved that sailor. Sorry.
Until he sailed away that one dusky evening.
He's not illegitimate.
Should we go to a bit of history then about
Yeah.
Venezuela?
Yeah, how did they get in this fucking mess?
Okay, it all started in 1998 when socialist Hugo Chavez came to power.
He was alright, actually.
The GDP
Hugo.
per capita was the same in 98 as it had been in 1963. Purchasing power had fallen by 1/3.
So,
Basically gone backwards from 63.
Yeah.
haven't we all?
Well, we
Look
are
at
now,
us.
yeah. After Brexit.
We're going to be eating out of bin lids soon.
Let's go, so it's okay, so, it's alright.
So, they've always had this oil then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously it was...
Well, I suppose that's a stupid thing to say. It's been there since dinosaurs.
It is dinosaurs.
It is dinosaur bones, isn't it? Somehow, I don't understand the science. Okay, so they've always done well then, or did they only? Does anyone know when they sprung the well and started?
Well, I don't know.
This was
Assuming
under-
the 20th century.
It was under
some
Chavez, wasn't it?
So
No,
they,
before then.
Yeah, but he started getting that.
my
the oil
point
started
is,
floating.
Yeah,
were they living like paupers for a while? Then
Well,
they
yeah,
hit the oil and were
basically,
like, woo!
oil-rich country between 63 and 98, their GDP had stagnated, purchasing power had gone down by 1/3. So the people making the money isn't going back to the citizens. It's been taken by American oil companies out of the country.
A lack of trickle-down economics.
Exactly, well done.
Yep.
That's a word I've heard on the news.
And on this podcast.
Oh. Trickle.
So Hugo Chavez was in power between 98 to 2013
Okay.
He died in 2013, didn't he?
from cancer, yeah. And between that time, the GDP per capita grew by 3 times.
What happened? What made
Tripled.
it? What caused that?
Well, he managed to sell more oil. The price of oil went up as well, which helped.
Yeah. The price of oil goes up, so you make more money,
Yeah. And
And
share
then-
it out.
but you don't overproduce. That's the thing. Because if you overproduce, the price goes down.
Right.
You've got to keep it at a certain level. And Venezuela were doing all right at that.
Yeah.
He was spending billions on social programs, housing, hospitals, education, building the infrastructure up.
By 2012, it had the lowest inequality levels in the region.
Yeah, which South America.
They went from 70.8% to 21%.
Wow.
Malnourished population went from 21% to 5%. Infant mortality went from 25 per 1,000 in 1990 to 13 per 1,000 in 2010.
It's a definite improvement.
Number of doctors, 18 per 1,000 to 58 per 1,000.
Wow.
And for 6 years ago, it was one of the happiest places to live on earth.
Well, the oil money's flowing. That's the thing. It's trickling down, but it's trickling down the right way. It's trickling down into social democracy, effectively, isn't it?
Sounds like a paradise.
Well, it was until
And
the
you
price
never-
of oil came down. And
Because you never really hear about Venezuela on the news, do you?
No, till
You
now.
know, until now, it's one of them. Obviously, everything was going good. You didn't hear it about anything. So what went wrong?
well, the price of oil fell by nearly 2/3 since 2012. So that
That's a
didn't
lot
help.
because Saudi Arabia were overproducing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia overproduced
Right.
to bring the price of oil down,
Mm.
possibly because this was planned a long time ago.
Right.
Oh, possibly.
And of course, the expanded welfare state that Chavez implemented relied on the oil sales.
Yeah, it's 95% of their economy, oil sales.
So now no more benefits.
So now-
And
yeah, exactly.
in 2017, Trump put financial sanctions on Venezuela.
What sort of sanctions?
Well, they stopped companies from investing in
They cancelled his
Venezuela.
overdraft.
For all the
Froze.
money in America, nearly $1 billion a year for the oil company was
Yeah.
frozen.
One of the national headquarters, the nationalised Venezuelan oil company, was based in Texas. I presume for tax reasons, possibly. I don't know. Allegedly. You think it's weird with the fact it's a Venezuelan company being based in Texas. Anyway,
Well,
they
you
had $1
probably
billion.
sell a lot of oil in Texas.
That's true enough. They had $1 billion worth of assets. They were frozen. The Bank of England has $1.2 billion worth of Venezuelan money, gold, etc. is deposited there as a sort of fail-safe,
Why don't we lend it back to
Oh
Venezuela?
no, we won't give it them back.
Why not?
Because the sanctions.
It's cost them $6 billion a year so far.
So as you can imagine,
5% of GDP.
So have they gone bankrupt?
Well,
far
what
from
they did
it,
is they printed more money.
Quantitative easing, mate.
Yeah.
hey, go to a banking episode.
Woo!
Well, there were declining taxes, so they had hyperinflation, 80,000%.
Wow. So whatever you want to buy, so that loaf of bread, that loaf of Asda Smart Price bread that's 12p,
Oh, is it like a million?
is now 80,000%
Yeah.
more than it was. I'm not even going to do the maths. And then I might do them. Mark, what's the maths on that?
And this has all happened in the last 6 years.
Yep.
So no benefit. How are people feeding themselves?
Well, they're not. They're just scrounging what they can find.
Is there international aid?
There is, but the president in charge now, what's his name?
Maduro.
Blocked the bridge because it's US aid, saying you're trying to bully us, and if we let this through,
Yeah.
basically, stop bullying us. We want you to lift the sanctions, not give us aid. We want to be able to.
Okay, allow us to do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
This is like when I got all those credit cards and loans, right? And spent it all on international travel, and like some of it went up my nose and
Jet setting.
you know, yeah. and I
Being an
was like,
international jet setter.
Yeah.
Doing cocaine in Italy.
Yeah, life's fucking amazing. Do you know what I mean? Then, what happened was, I had to pay it all back, and it all came grinding to a halt, and crashing back down to reality. And I had to sort of plead with these companies and go, "Hey, I can only afford to give you this much back," and they had to accept it. So it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking economics, Mike. It's a load of bollocks, isn't it?
It is, mate, it is.
Capitalist pig dogs! So seriously, I'm trying to make jokes because we are a very silly, light-hearted podcast, but this is all news to me. So the people of Venezuela literally lose your benefits
Yeah,
because you're a socialist country.
affordable healthcare and medicine.
Right? So you got literally no food. They are literally scratting about, and
Yeah, pretty
there
much.
must be some.
A certain percentage of the population is, obviously.
Well, they're short of some things, because like toilet paper and certain food,
Holy fuck!
because the private companies won't produce them.
Why? Because I can't sell them.
No, well, because they're working with Guiado to sort of undermine the government. So say, look, there's food shortages, but
Yeah.
So, but
they're holding back the goods.
to try and get it straight, mate.
And sorry.
Haven't they installed it? So the US have put this bloke in.
Well, they've said, but the army, they wouldn't defect, would they?
No, all the police and the army have stayed loyal to the president. The thing is, the president who's in now was democratically
Yeah.
elected.
Right.
He has made a bit of he's been hampered by sanctions and the low price of oil. So the social democracy paradise that was happening earlier, when everyone was getting cheap drugs and there was plenty of food and medicine was plentiful and education, has now kind of dropped off dramatically. Now, there is a case to argue that he is a little bit incompetent and he probably should have tried to restructure his economy.
But the Venezuelan people voted him in,
They did.
and they've got a right to recall, which our government doesn't.
Well, the American
Macron,
one,
he's
yeah.
got 21% approval rating,
He's the French president, Gaz.
Thank you.
and they're stuck with him. But in Colombia, if 20% of the people don't like them, they can put in a right to recall a new vote, which has actually happened with the Chavez. They did it under Chavez, but he still won the vote again.
But to get this in my head, America haven't replaced him yet,
No.
but they're trying to.
They're saying that the election was rigged.
Yeah.
Oh, they always say that, don't they?
Yeah.
It was rigged because we rigged it.
But I've got an article that debunks that.
Okay.
Oh.
And this is former US President Jimmy Carter. No relation. Venezuelan election system. Best
Thanks
in the
for clearing
world.
that up.
No, I'm related to Howard Carter, the famous Egyptologist.
Best in the world. Best electoral system in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Merida, 21st September 2012, that's the former US President Jimmy Carter has declared that Venezuela's electoral system is the best in the world. Speaking at an annual event last week in Atlanta for his Carter Center Foundation, the politician turned philanthropist stated, "As a matter of fact, of the 92 elections that we've monitored, I would say the election process in Venezuela is the best in the world." Venezuela has developed a fully automated touchscreen voting system which now uses thumbprint recognition technology and prints off a receipt to confirm voters' choices.
Much better than us, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still putting a fucking
Yeah,
square on a fucking bit of paper and putting in a box.
To put my conspiracy hat on though,
Yeah.
just because it prints you a receipt and his charity can monitor it
But
doesn't
it can
mean
be
it's
checked.
But
And it was checked.
dark web.
54% of the votes were checked, and it still claimed a Maduro victory.
Yeah, a narrow victory nonetheless,
Yeah,
but a victory.
He won 50.6 to 49.1.
It's machines though that could be coded. You see, as long as there's a machine involved, there's some small chance of fuckery.
Yeah, but you go there, you sign in.
It's better than
you go,
ours, isn't
okay,
it?
press your thumbprint
Yeah.
on.
What about all them dodgy ballot votes that were nicked?
Yeah, for the Tories after the last election, there was like 275,000 ballot papers that were
That's
stolen.
it. Were nicked in a van.
I suppose it would be fairly easy to organise.
Was that you, Gaz?
Well, no,
Someone you know?
Let's say we're the local councillor. It doesn't take a genius to pay some criminals to watch the local polling stations and watch the sacks or whatever they're transported in. It'll be quite obvious being loaded into a van. Just burn that. So, I mean, they're all gone then, aren't they? No one's going to replace it or rehold the local, you know? Oh, I don't know. I've never rigged an election, Ben. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've barely voted in them.
Should we see what our foreign secretary has to say about
You
it?
mean Jeremy Cunt? I mean Hunt.
Oh, I saw a supercut of every time.
There's
You'll
a-
be surprised. It's about 10 or 12
Yeah.
times people in the media have subliminally made the slip and said, Jeremy Cunt, Hunt.
Yeah, but it's still funny.
My
every
favourite
time.
one's a BBC guy, I don't know which one it is, but he coughs afterwards because he shocked himself. He's like a BBC 4, Radio 4, you know, like proper posh. He's like, Jeremy Cunt. And then like carries on. Like, oh, that's the sound of a man shitting his pants.
Yeah, but all the thing is, it's
I'm
Radio
lying.
4, so all his listeners are at least over 70. And either A, didn't hear it properly, or B, are asleep.
Yeah, I like Radio 4.
Or drugged up.
I like Radio 4.
Yeah.
I don't listen
Does
to
it
the
soothe
Archers.
the savage animal in the basement?
There's some interesting stuff on there. They have these things called audio documentaries, Ben. You'd
Alright.
enjoy them, actually.
Would I?
Yeah.
I listen to
And
Dan
some good-
Carling, it's more fun.
They have some good comedy. You've
Yeah.
got to love Radio 4. It's an
Yeah.
institution.
They've actually changed the radio station at work to Heart FM. And
I
it's
quite like
so
Woman's
shit.
Hour. Have you ever listened to Woman's Hour?
No.
It's
Is that
intriguing.
women talking about the periods?
No,
Oh,
Mike.
that's the
What a
Burning Man
derivative
award
joke!
right there.
Oh,
He's taking the
and
Burning
you,
Man
I was going to
from
say you call me Bernard Manning. Bernard Manning turned to 11. Misogyny. Oh, you'd never hear
It's a
me
joke,
making a
ladies.
joke about split arses like that, would you?
Oh, just having mother-in-law.
Actually, I'm going to be living. I know I'd stop talking about it on the
Don't
air.
do it. Don't do it.
My mother-in-law. No, she's lovely.
And technically not your mother-in-law.
Well, you know, one day.
Anyway, so Jeremy
Anyway,
Hunt.
he's got a top knot.
No, it's just the lighting.
What the
Jeremy
fuck?
Hunt does not have a top knot or a man bun. He's a boring Tory, a corrupt, boring Tory.
He might clip one on when he gets home. A fake one.
Because hipster bars
Yeah.
with a stick on
He
pierce.
chats with young hipsters, or tries to.
Hey, you Jeremy Hunt? No. No, I'm Atlas Talisman.
I was going to say, no, I'm Jeremy Cunt.
Oh, just hear what this twat has to say.
Yeah.
We are extremely concerned about the situation in Venezuela. It is clear that Nicolas Maduro is not the legitimate leader of Venezuela. The election on the 20th of May was deeply flawed. Ballot boxes were stuffed, there were counting irregularities, opposition parties banned, and this regime has done untold damage to the people of Venezuela.
But hang on, they used machines.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been stuffed. They used electronic voting, been using it for a decade.
We just caught a politician telling a lie.
Not Jeremy Hunt.
And the opposition weren't banned, Gaz. They boycotted it under US advice to make it look as if it was illegitimate.
What's his reasons for bullshitting there then to judge? Are we getting fucking involved?
I think we'll
Yeah.
probably try and get some.
We've declared him
business
as
in.
well.
Because we want some
We
oil.
said we want fresh elections, didn't we? We said if there aren't
What's it
fresh
got to
elections,
fucking do with
then
us?
we're gonna agree with the US.
Look at the state of our fucking...
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's the best bit. Our democracy's on its fucking arse, and we're dishing out advice to other people on how to run theirs. And bear in mind, a country that was praised as having the best democratic system in the world.
Yeah.
In
He's
terms of
telling us it's
voting,
shit.
and we're telling them that it's shit. It's hilarious. You can't make this shit up anymore.
And the
There's another
subtitles,
article,
you
yeah.
could just say, we want the oil, we want the oil, we want the oil.
Wow.
We want
His
the oil.
eyes should have revolving dollar signs on them as he's saying it.
Well, shall we see what John Bolton has to say?
Okay, who's John Bolton?
John Bolton is the...
Oh, not the singer. What's his name?
Michael Bolton.
Oh, yeah.
That's his brother.
But what I'm proud of is I was desperately trying to think of a Michael Bolton song to sing. I couldn't think of a single one.
Neither could I, actually.
That's brilliant.
Isn't he... Is he Secretary of State now?
Good Michael Bolton.
Yeah, Michael Bolton.
I fucking hope not. He's a singer. Oh, he was a celebrity in the fucking white tapes.
Basically,
Whatever singers.
this cunt was behind us getting into Iraq as well, and all you know, he's a warmongering fucking motherfucker.
Who, Hunt?
John Bolton.
Would you argue he's got shares in the military-industrial complex?
Maybe. Well, this is what he says. This is what he says why US should get involved.
American multinational companies.
So if you think of a company like Citgo, which is owned by PDVSA, which is the state-run oil company there in Venezuela, we have a lot of those Citgo assets right here in the U.S. Is that something, for example, sir, that you're looking at?
Yeah, well, we're in conversation with major American companies now that are either in Venezuela or, in the case of Citgo, here in the United States. I think we're trying to get to the same end result here. You know, Venezuela is one of the three countries I call it the troika of tyranny. It'll make a big difference to the United States economically if we could have American oil companies really invest in and produce the oil capabilities in Venezuela. It'd be good for the people of Venezuela. It'd be good for the people of the United States. We both have a lot at stake here, making this come out the right way.
Wow, so he's basically saying, hey, if we get all that oil, their lives will be better, but our lives will be better. But our lives will be better than theirs, because they'll just be like a minimum wage.
Yeah,
like the people on Bruce Willis's oil rig in Armageddon.
Oh, yeah.
Basically,
but less
kiss
paid.
goodbye to your healthcare. Your doctors are gone. You know, infant mortality is going to go up.
Yeah, you can still, there'll be food, but adequate food.
Yeah.
Gotta
They
keep
say
you fit to work.
socialism is bad.
Well,
Unbelievable, isn't it?
So is that chap like a Dick Cheney with a moustache?
Basically, yeah.
How can this be fixed? How does this go back to the paradise that it used to be? Venezuela.
Well, let's just see what Guido wants to do when he gets in power.
Okay, so Guido wants to open Venezuela oil deals to foreign private companies, his US envoy says.
Oh, there we go. The Americans want the oil, he wants to give it them. That's handy, isn't
The
it?
guy in charge now wants to keep it and for the country,
Yeah.
so that when the oil price does go up again and the sanctions are lifted, they can actually get their fucking economy back on track.
And get all them doctors back in and all the...
Start
healthcare.
educating people again. It might take in 20 years, but at least that money's pumping in.
It's got to be better than not having any bog roll,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Just use a handful of gravel.
Or a,
Another
a pine
bank,
cone on a stick.
another Bank of England have weighed in.
Yeah.
Oh.
They do have, the Bank of England has got £1.2 billion reserves. And Guido's asked for them to send to him. Which is nice of him.
So this is a guy, he's not been democratically elected president, he wants the gold that is in the Bank of England
Sent to him.
sent to him.
Directly.
Yeah.
That sounds
Not
a bit
to-
like an Austin Powers villain. Like, he's going to disappear.
$1.2 billion.
Deliver the gold that belongs to the country to me, to my private island. Leave it in an unmarked case at the end of the ramp, next to the speedboat.
And our foreign minister, he
Yeah.
wants the Bank of England to give it to him. I mean, you can't make it up, can you?
So you've got Nicolas Maduro, who is the democratically elected leader of the country in a system that was described as the best democratic voting system in the world by a former US president and his committee set up specifically to say whether elections are rigged or not. And just because the EU and Britain and America and Canada and France say that no, we prefer the other guy, so you should send him the gold reserves because he's going to play ball with us and let our oil companies in to take away our national wealth. And of course, let's not forget, assets strip the country.
Yeah. And these are the countries that are backing Maduro. India, the world's largest democracy.
Yeah, that's not mentioned, by the way. The only
Mexico, South Africa, Turkey, Cuba, Bolivia, Uruguay, Nicaragua, Belarus for some reason.
China as well.
China,
Russia,
Iran,
don't forget
Syria, Russia, yeah.
So he's got some big boys on his side. And it's only really the Western sort of bloc, as you will, that are saying, no, it should be that guy. Should be him.
You got some stuff on the military, haven't you, Ben?
Control the government, control the oil, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm getting this.
Apparently, according to the
Morning Star
Online, British military presence near Venezuela is extremely concerning. Quote, Britain's Navy and Marines are conducting military exercises close to Venezuela. The Mounts Bay, a giant Royal Fleet auxiliary landing ship, spent New Year in Miami embarking a US Coast Guard helicopter for the first time. It then sailed south to within 50 miles of the Venezuelan coast and was docked in Caracas Bay on the tiny Dutch Caribbean island of Curaçao. The Royal Navy claims the vessel is working on counter-narcotics takedown operations with the US Southern Command. Although it is this branch of the Pentagon that will lead any attack on Venezuela.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it? We're out here doing, the drug runners.
That war on drugs has been going so well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden Trump says, right, we're invading Venezuela. Oh, look, it's handy, we're off the coast.
Oh, we're here, so we might as well. I'm already up here, so...
That's handy, because there's a giant landing craft here that can disgorge your Marines onto the beach. And you can send another one down if you want.
Meanwhile, British Marines are conducting jungle warfare training in Belize.
That is routine.
Yeah, I know, but it's handy though, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've done it there since the 50s.
Yeah, alright then.
That is routine. That's where the SAS train Belize. They've been doing it since the 50s, so it is routine. That is scaremongering there.
Yeah, but it's still handy though, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been there for...
I know, I'm just saying it is handy. I'm not being conspiracy, it's just handy.
No, well, of course it is, but it's a really good jungle, and they're really friendly with our government because we train their guys. So.
And what does the US say?
Trump says that sending military to Venezuela is an option, and apparently there is going to be sort of 5,000 US troops maybe going to Colombia, or it's certainly
Didn't he have written on a pad, John Bolton?
Yes, he did. 5,000 US troops to Colombia, question mark kind of thing.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Out in the open, they don't care now.
No. US President Donald Trump has said that military intervention in Venezuela was an option, quote, as Western nations boost pressure on socialist leader Nicolas Maduro to step down, the democratically elected president to step down. It comes as the troubled OPEC nations ally Russia warned against destructive meddling. So even Russia are going, don't fuck about.
Yep.
Just lift the sanctions. The US, Canada and several Latin American countries have disavowed Mr Maduro over his disputed re-election last year and recognised self-proclaimed President Juan Guiado as the country's rightful leader.
It is. It's like the UKIP leader just saying, right, I'm Prime Minister now.
Can
And
I
the
try
US
that?
going, yeah, right, yeah, we'll accept him.
Can I try that?
Have the people accepted it, though?
Of course they haven't.
Is that why they're all in the street?
Yeah.
I'm understanding now, okay.
The thing is, the people in the streets who are protesting as a president are basically the people who wanted the other guy to win. But the other guys aren't the running for this. It's just Guido going, well, I'm the Speaker of the House, and that was that election was rigged.
Yeah.
So I'm president now by default because that's what it says in the Constitution, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
And the US and the West have just gone, yeah, you know what? Put him in. Get in, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jeremy Hunt said that election. Sorry, he said that election was bogus.
Yeah, but he also said ballot boxes.
People were barred from entering.
Yeah, I've told you they boycotted it, didn't they?
I know, but I'm just saying. Jeremy Hunt said that, right?
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he'd never lie.
He's a politician. It truly is the post-truth age.
Post-truth
It
apocalypse?
just wasn't the first time either. They did a coup in 2002, didn't they, Ben?
Yeah.
When Chavez was in charge.
That's true. For a deeply religious man who saw himself as Venezuela's messiah, it was deliciously apt that President Hugo Chavez was deposed on Friday, only to return in a miraculous political resurrection on Sunday. In a bizarre turnaround that surprised Venezuelans and caught the international community off guard, He was back in the presidential palace in Caracas yesterday, 48 hours after a military coup had forced him out of office. Mr. Chavez was flown by helicopters after his brief captivity on a Venezuelan island to the Miraflores Palace, where he triumphantly resumed his presidential powers in a televised ceremony. Quote, "I'm still stupefied. I'm still assimilating," he said, smiling. How do you know he's on the ball?
Is it Cloak? Yeah, he's a Cloak.
He's on the ball?
Still assimilating data. And then in revenge he fucking dive-bombed the economy. Is that what he's...
They killed him, brought him back, gave the clone cancer. So he died a few years later, cancer. I'd say get rid of him.
Fuck. Or they just injected it in him.
'Cause that's weird, isn't it?
I'm sure they've weaponised cancer.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Mind you, all that shit floating around in the air from Chernobyl doesn't help, does it?
Well, no, it's true.
So that was the US.
I want superpowers.
Not gonna happen, man.
I forgot about the radioactive stuff in the air.
That was the US working with the party that Guaido is head of now
Yeah?
to try and dislodge Chavez.
Well, he was a bit of a chav.
So I think President Maduro in 2002,
I remember
2018, there was a drone attack on him when he was addressing troops. The troops didn't behave very well, actually. They all fucking ran like hell. So 2 drones packed with explosives reportedly flew towards Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on Saturday night in what the government has described as a failed assassination attempt. So, assailants launched 2 drones filled with a total of more than 4 pounds of plastic explosives towards Maduro, his wife and other top Venezuelan leaders, according to the Associated Press. The attack occurred while Maduro was making a speech at a huge outdoor event in Caracas to celebrate the 81st anniversary of the country's National Guard. One of the drones was set to explode above the president, while the second was set to detonate in front of him, according to Interior Minister Nestor Reverol. The Venezuelan military knocked one of the drones off course electronically. The second drone crashed into an apartment building about 2 blocks from where Maduro was speaking to hundreds of troops. Photos taken at the event showed security officers surrounding Maduro with some sort of large black shields as they escorted him away. Maduro said, "That drone came after me, but there's a shield of love that always protects us. I'm sure I'll live for many more years."
I doubt it, mate. Well, no, but it won't be for much longer, will they?
Public leaders shouldn't say stuff like that.
No. Unless he's just trying to inspire a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
Can we just scroll down, because there's a really cool picture of the guys with the black shields. There we go. How badass is that?
Yeah, they look like reinforced umbrellas.
I'd imagine it's Kevlar, and you're probably right, they're sort of some kind of special...
It looks like they've just whipped them out.
Yeah.
You know, set them up real quick, yeah.
Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Shield wall!
Yeah, man, they've drilled that. I bet they've been dying to get her for a reason to get... Actually, they're probably not. They're like, something's going to blow up.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the brunt with my little shield.
Yay!
So that's pretty much it, Gaz. That's Venezuela at the moment. That's where we are. We got
Navy
off the coast. Our Navy off the coast. The US got 5,000 troops in Colombia.
They're planning to send them.
Planning to send them.
And we don't have to pretend, do we? We're not conspiracy theorists. It's all... we're all grown-ups here.
A bit oily, innit?
Well, the cunt said,
It's a bit oily.
cunt said.
Yeah.
It'd be really advantageous to get that oil.
Yeah. We could do with that.
And of course, remember, if there is military intervention, that feeds the military-industrial complex. There's 5,000 US troops, no matter if they send their very, very best, they're still going to get a bit bogged down against an entire nation, aren't they?
Exactly. Well, here's a question for you. What's worse in terms of empires, right? The way the Brits did it, where we went rolling in, yeah, we killed a lot of people. But then, you know, we built the places up and we didn't lie. We were like, look, we're here to benefit ourselves, make some money, but, you know, we're going to make it good for you too.
But we didn't.
No.
Okay, but
we did build the infrastructure, so
that's what I mean.
But only the elites could use it because they could only afford it.
You've seen all them pictures of Indian people on trains.
Yeah,
They have to stand on the.
So anyway, here's my point.
At least they get a train trip.
Yeah, it's still a train. They did. We. That's something we.
They still sit on the top now.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
It's just overcrowded, Mike.
So hang on though. So that's the way we did it. We didn't lie about it though. Is my point. We went wading in, going,
Well,
this is what we're doing, and we're doing it, right?
We did have a similar thing though to this, where we.
But they do it. Their way is right? We're just going in anyway, the way we did, but they make this cock and bull story to the world that most people can see through anyway.
Oh, that's the trouble.
But they have to pretend and act like it's awful. No, we're doing this for good reasons, noble reasons. You see, we're helping those poor.
I question whether the majority can see through it.
Well, they can't.
Your foreign secretary. People respect people in power, and he says it. It must be true.
Yeah.
Not going to believe some, dirty wop in Venezuela. That's what they would say.
Yeah, they're going to believe the electoral commission, aren't they? So
they're going to believe the foreign secretary. He's British. We elected him. He's respectable.
Allegedly.
Not some
president who might have a rigged election. Banana Republic, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get real. As long as I've got diesel to put in the car, invade whoever you fucking want. No, that's a joke. It's pretty dark and messed up, and I do feel bad. I realise now where they're all out there, 1 million people in the street. Was it over 1 million, did it say? I can't remember.
Yeah, and there are some people against Maduro, fair enough, but he still won the election. Do you know what I mean?
And survived a drone.
Because of cool black shields.
Who the fuck are we to say?
Well, exactly. But we do use, sell.
First of all, we went in there, economic warfare. Put the sanctions on, squeeze them. What did Nixon say in 1970 when they did it to Chile? He wants to make the economy scream.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
So you get everyone uprising, and then you support the guy that people are uprising against.
Yeah.
So when you roll in there with your tanks, a good percentage of the population is welcoming you as the fucking helpers, aren't they? Which they never did in Iraq. They've learnt their lesson a little bit in a way.
Did the Russians do that to us? Are they subverting this whole Brexit thing to create a division in us, and then they're gonna?
Well, of course, all enemies will do whatever they can to
divide and conquer.
The EU was
America's divided. Yeah. Britain's divided. France is divided.
Yeah.
The NWO. David Icke was right. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying.
Well, yeah, you think of it. You make the EU weak, and they're less of a trading threat to Russia, aren't they? And that means they have to negotiate a new deal with us, so it'll probably be more beneficial for them than it is us.
But we have spies in their country doing the same thing, undermining them.
But it doesn't matter if we leave the
EU. We're not as good at it as them, obviously, are they?
It doesn't matter if we leave the EU, though, because the global government, one world government's coming eventually. Anyway,
there we go.
That's what David Icke says.
Apparently.
Yeah, let's put all our faith in David Icke, Saint David Icke.
It's backed up by, what's his name, the author in The Mandela Effect.
Oh, that's
Philip K. Dick. Philip K.
He was clearly off his face when he was giving that speech. I remember that episode.
Well, we're off our faces. Yeah. Look at all the truth bombs we drop, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the hot air.
Well, to be fair, they get more truth here than they will in mainstream media.
Well, that is true. I told you about my drug habit. Well, look. I feel very sorry. Is there a good way out of this? Can they take control of their own economy and start shipping out some oil again and dishing out the benefits?
They could
not until the sanctions are lifted.
No. Or they beat off a successful American invasion.
Yeah.
Probably going to invade, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. It's looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially. I think
the Donald Trump loving MAGA hat wearing people will fucking love a good old invasion, wouldn't they? And they go, we done some liberating again.
Nothing gets your ratings up like a successful
war. Exactly.
Well, a successful war. A quick, short, successful war.
Oh yeah, because if it drags on like Vietnam, you're fucked.
That's what they went for with Iraq, wasn't it? They sort of launched their own little blitzkrieg, hoping to knock everything out, and
who end up suffering the most? The poor.
Exactly.
They always get it in the neck. That's why we have to overthrow capitalism. Viva la revolution!
We've got to get through fucking Brexit first.
Oh. Yeah.
Brexcrement. Oh God.
Isn't it amazing though? Such a shit idea can be fitted into so many words that mean shit.
Yeah. When is it? March?
29th of March.
The end of March.
It might get extended yet though, to be fair.
Oh, hello.
There's a possibility it might get extended.
Oh, I love an extension.
Yeah, the EU have basically said, oh, even though Corbyn's kind of sold the Labour Party out a little bit with his with what the people wanted for a leave, he's kind of put his own version on the table.
What's that?
And it's like
customs union.
We've all got to make jam.
No, it's like a customs union and
that's a good thing.
Protecting rights of workers.
That's it.
That's
so
a good one.
Yeah. European human rights and images in there and stuff like that. So the EU have got, I'm protecting the rights of EU citizens more, so I think there's might still a bit of freedom of movement going on actually.
Not sure about that one.
But either way, the EU have gone, well that's really good, but we'd probably go for that if you wanted to, but May's like now sort of, oh shit, why didn't I think of that earlier?
Well, she can't because she's got the Brexiteers, hasn't she? She's got Rees-Mogg and all that saying we want no deal. We want out. Out means out.
Even though he's just moved his company to Ireland.
Well,
the Catholic anti-abortionist who has shares in an abortion pill company. You can't make it up, can you? You can't make it up anymore.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the simple joys of life, like a spliff and a PlayStation, does he?
I just realised that the word history is split up by the words his Tory.
Oh, usually it's his story, but yeah, in that case, yeah, his story. And people call for that cunt to be Prime Minister, you know.
I would literally, as little as I pay attention to politics now, if he became a Prime Minister, I would just shut myself off from it for as long as humanly possible. Completely isolate myself from it. I'd have to stop doing the pod. I would just live in a world of make-believe
in a pillow fort in the spare room.
I know, I'd still go to work and stuff. It's just I would just because I can avoid the news for weeks on end sometimes
until we force emergency broadcasts.
It's usually days on end, or I see bits and bobs on Twitter. Obviously, and if something takes my attention, I will look into it, see what's going on here. But yeah, I try to avoid it. It's better for your mental health.
We've got some weird news if you want that.
Yeah,
we've got a quick piss break. So we're back, and Mike, you've got one last thing for us.
Yeah, one thing I forgot. The reason Trump imposed the sanctions.
Oh yeah.
The same day that Venezuela dropped the petrodollar, they decided to trade in the Chinese currency.
Ah. Interesting, isn't it?
The same day. So Venezuela said, right, we're dropping the petrodollar. Favour of China.
Well, yeah, because it's not working for them.
Yeah.
So we'll trade in the Chinese currencies.
Same day.
Currency.
Trump imposed the sanctions. And look at the countries that defied the US. Libya wanted the dinar.
Yes, they did. Iraq was talking about the euro.
Yeah.
Syria, he got it up the dinar.
Syria, possibly to the ruble. Who knows?
So
you did get up the dinar.
There's only Iran, China, Russia, and a few of the BRICS.
Oh, man, they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No, it's just really. It's like they've lied to us. That I mean, they've got a massive record of intervening in South American politics all the way back to the 1800s. I mean, the invasion of Panama is the big one.
Spanish War, wasn't it?
Spanish War, but then you've had intervention in Nicaragua. Panama is the big one. Guatemala, Haiti.
Grenada.
Yeah, Grenada. And remember that Grenada was a British province at the time.
Fuck.
And they basically invaded British territory.
And we let it happen.
We let it happen because there was no troops based there. It's a British protectorate, part of the old sort of empire. A few days after they invaded, the British governor basically sort of had written a letter saying that he'd requested American aid because there were no British forces close to him.
We're the lapdogs, didn't we?
And we let that happen. So they invaded British territory effectively at the time. But I mean, Panama. Do you know why Panama is so important?
The canal.
The canal. It's the only place the US can move an aircraft carrier, cutting out that nice big fucking round the tip of Argentina, the Cape of something or other.
And it's where all the hats come from.
And the hats. Gotta love a Panama hat. Hannibal Lecter and the Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Having an old friend for dinner, puts his hat back on, swans off.
Cricket umpires.
Yeah,
Dickie Bird.
R.I.P.D.
I never thought I did the name Dickie Bird mentioned on this show.
You know what? I fucking hate cricket.
Oh, I've tried. I don't mind dicking about, like, actually, if we're in the park, actually throwing a ball and trying to hit it. That's quite good fun. But
being a batter's okay, but fielder.
Field it's shit, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we used to play cricket at school, and the teacher was a right cunt.
There's a surprise.
Right bully, yeah. and if you weren't paying attention, he'd lob the cricket ball as hard as he could. He hit one person in the head, got a concussion,
Sadist.
broke another guy's fingers.
Well,
Sadist.
if I was a boarding school and that took a joke, Mike. What's the saying? Waterloo was made on the rugby fields of Eton, made on the fields of Eton, or something like that. So it's tough in you.
And I think he threw it at me.
No, that's a genuine quote.
I do think he threw it at me once and he missed.
Yeah.
It's a good job with that amazing science brain of yours.
Imagine that, like fucking teacher wanging it at you if you're not paying attention.
Have this science bar!
Cricket ball, for fuck's sake!
You know, I only played cricket a couple of times in secondary school because we had a PE teacher who preferred football and rugby. But I always remember we had a guy who played for Shropshire at cricket, and he was the only person in the fucking school that played cricket.
We had one like that.
At any kind of level. And we had no pads, using football shin pads.
Yeah, we didn't do it much at ours, did we?
No, because we were a public school, guys, that's why. We were
grammar school.
scum compared to Mike.
Rugby in the winter.
Basketball.
Rugby in the winter and cricket in the summer.
Do you know I had to play basketball
I played
against
basketball
some...
for the house.
Yeah, but I bet you didn't play against black people, did you?
Not in cricket, no.
Out in the real world, do you know what I mean, Mike? I was playing
What was South Africa? Did you play in South Africa, did you?
There was 2 Asians in my year, I think. There was a
You
black.
mean they let Asians into a grammar school?
Yeah, because they're maths geniuses and their parents are loaded.
Are we talking East Asians or Indians or Pakistanis?
Muslims?
Wow. I'm genuinely surprised.
Omar
The school
Qureshi.
didn't blow up. Sorry.
Wow. Wow.
We made it to school, Omar Qureshi. I still remember him. Lived in Madeley.
Wow, guys.
It's clearly a fucking joke.
No.
It's clearly a fucking
You're
joke.
in a gammon and came out again.
My inner comedian.
You're in a gammon and revisited the show.
He said 2 of them were Muslim.
Yeah.
You said, I was surprised. It was the obvious joke.
No, I was surprised at the white, so middle to upper class grammar school that Mike's got into. Because his brains, probably.
That's racist. No, anyway, moving
I did
on.
pass an 11 plus actually, so yeah.
Right,
It
there
was
you go.
because of your brains.
Because of your brains. Allowed in a predominantly white, British, middle class school to have to, unless it was some kind of, affirmative action kind of thing going on.
Well, it was the early 90s, things have moved on a little bit.
Yeah, I think we should get off this because it's
Well, either way. Alright, so,
Weird news.
in all
it was a
fairness,
good joke.
So we all think it was just very good. So we all think it's a bit iffy that the US are impoverishing
Yeah.
Venezuela in the hope to cause civil unrest, and then installing their own guy who is wants to give them all the oil.
It's horrific. It's once again puppet masters playing with people's lives,
Master
killing
of puppets is doing
Yeah.
the strings.
killing people to make some more money, playing chess with the world chessboard, but it's real people on the streets starving.
Fighting.
Or will be, excuse me, a bit. Fighting and starving, just so they can play their games. Like fucking war pigs.
Yep.
Fuck them. Not the Venezuelans, I hope they're okay.
Well, the worst thing is though, in a documentary I watched earlier, there was basically the president has given the food supplies over to the military, who are being a bit corrupt with it as well.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Maduro, but the Venezuelan people voted him in.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
It's his right to
The other
try
guy
and fix
is
it.
going to be a million times worse for the normal people. So I
Because
don't
he's a
want him in.
stooge of Trump.
But at least he's getting in at the right age, 35. Think about it, right? If you're a dictator, you want to get in as young as you can. Because you've only got, especially if you're an American puppet dictator, you've got about 30 years, haven't you?
Shouldn't he be suspicious? They're putting me in now, but haven't they got a history of then shooting me?
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Or
Yeah,
arresting.
30
Because
years
once
later.
you get sort of 30 years in, and you're like, well, I'm fucking El Presidente for life. You've got your nice
Gaddafi.
gold epaulets and your white uniform, and yeah, things are shit for the people, but you've got fucking millions. And all of a sudden you do something that just slightly annoys the Americans. And you think, you know what? That guy's taking the piss a little bit. So we'll fucking have a coup. We directly intervene, or we sow some unrest amongst the already pissed off people. Next thing you know, you're getting a bayonet up your arse after riding a sewage tube. But you've had a good 30 years, and 35 is the right age.
Yeah.
But notice when the Yanks go in, it's even worse. I mean, Libya opened slave markets.
Oh. Yeah, I did see a picture of that.
Iraq.
I wish I didn't.
Million kids dead.
Or
Middle
mutated.
East on fire.
Yeah. And this could set the whole of South America on fire, because if the Americans go in, then chances are the Argentinians are a big mate to the Americans still.
The Brazilians.
The Brazilians, the Colombians.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to go in, so you're going to end up with this sort of...
Well, Colombia's part of NATO.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, even though it's not in the North Atlantic.
So everywhere's fucked.
But they're the country next to Panama, so you get to maintain a
country next
presence.
to Venezuela.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Always look on the bright side of life.
Alright, let's have some weird news.
Yeah, that might cheer us up.
Yeah.
Probably not though.
Well, let's see. This is from the Mirror.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
Okay. Sick moment, grinning fisherman uses dead shark as bong to the tune of Baby Shark.
What's the tune of Baby Shark?
Oh fuck.
I'm not...
Listeners are not going to forgive me for this, but I live with my girlfriend's children, so Baby Shark, do. It's fucking horrific.
And you have to do the arm movements as well.
What is it, kids thing?
Baby Shark, do.
It's...
But I like the fact, look, I don't like animal cruelty, but I do like inventive bongs, so I'm a little bit torn. Let's hear the
It was
story.
dead, to be fair.
Well, there you go then.
It wasn't a live one.
I hope you didn't get some, well, I hope you didn't get some sort of sick disease. I used an apple as a bong once.
Yeah, does that work?
Yeah, well, I was watching, of all films, the Dukes of Hazzard remake movie thing.
Okay.
You ever see it? With Owen Wilson.
Jessica Simpson.
Oh yeah, Jessica Simpson. Yeah, 'cause that's when she looked good in hot pants.
And
She doesn't look
Johnny
good now,
Knoxville. But anyway, Willie Nelson plays the old man, and there's a scene where he's got a spliff, and he just picks up an apple, and he takes 2 bites, one each side, and he just shoves an apple, spliff in the apple, and just sucks it through the apple. And I saw it in a movie, and I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And one day, really high in the kitchen, I tried it, and yeah, it works. Just get your joint in there. I think, you make a hole one side, you don't, and then so get it in quite a tight hole one side, like you would a bung.
Yeah.
And then just take a bite out the other side, like normal, and then stick your mouth in the bite shape, and it will come through the apple.
No way.
Apple flavoured weed?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you
Thank
fucking,
you, Willie
you
Nelson.
fucking hipster.
It's
I'm gonna toke my apple flavoured weed in my man bun.
That I learned from Willie Nelson.
That's really got apple socks on though.
Oh fuck.
Drug code.
Drug code.
Fucking Baby Shark, do.
Fuck off. So,
read the story.
In footage that have been slammed for being cruel,
Fucking
the Australian man can be seen grinning as he bops his head to the tune. The clip shows him on board a boat holding a small predator which had tubes inserted into its head and rear. Wow.
Lord.
It would appear the shark had also been hollowed out in order to allow smoke to flow through its corpse.
Wow.
Wow. The man can be seen lighting the impromptu bong and inhaling through the mouthpiece in the shark's tail.
It's inventive.
It is?
Well, I'll give him that. But, yeah, a bit sick though, isn't it?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Are you ready?
Oh, don't do it. Actually, you can't do more than so many seconds because we'll get done by Apple.
Yeah, we'll get to the 30 seconds fair use, don't you worry.
Oh, you fucking...
I know my...
Right, let's just talk really loudly.
You deserve to know this.
I know it.
And there you go.
You
And
know
that's
what?
all you need to
That
hear.
needs to get in the shark.
That's all you need to hear.
He's going the fucking reggae box. In fact, he's in the reggae box. There you go. It's an impromptu reggae box, but it's in there, and we can never talk of it again.
Oh.
You live your own baby shark misery in your home life, but I'm not accepting it anymore. So
But you've heard it now, and that's all you needed.
I'd heard it before. I'd blotted it out.
Have you heard the metal version?
No, but I don't want to hear it.
It exists.
Or the fact that some band from a genre I respect would lower themselves to do that.
You can't say that to me. I wrote a song about Mike's interdimensional penis.
Yeah, which is a more fascinating subject than a fucking baby shark.
You mean baby shark, dude?
Reggae box, guys.
Sorry. What was the news story? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of it, really.
Bong in the shark.
Bong in the shark.
I think he should focus his efforts, this young man, because obviously he is quite ingenious and inventive, and I think the fact that he's got the stomach to hollow out a shark, which is a sentence I didn't think I'd say, he should maybe be, I don't know, a taxidermist, an undertaker, not the undertaker.
Serial killer.
That is the other one, yeah. But maybe the weed will stop him. Unless he starts using a dead human.
What if he starts using a dead human as a bomb?
Yeah,
That's the issue I've got. It's an escalation. The shark won't be enough. He'll progress to a cat, and then a dog, and a cow. Before you know it, he's killing humans.
Probably. Sick fuck.
Alright, next one.
Yeah.
Baby. I'm joking. It's in my own head.
Okay.
I fucked myself.
See, I've got it already.
Not for the first time.
Newstarget.com.
Okay.
Demons really are possessing people, one psychiatrist as pure evil sweeps over humanity.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Does a bit.
An Ivy League educated psychiatrist is convinced there's a growing epidemic of demonic possession in the world today, and that most everyday people now recognise the dark reality of this scary situation.
Oh, yeah, of course, mate. Where's your proof?
Dr. Richard Gallagher, who boasts degrees from both Princeton University and Yale University, says that despite conflicting opinions within mainstream medical science, I think there is no conflicting opinions in the world of medical science about demonic possession. Sorry, that was me adding that in. Demonic possession is both real and rampant. So Mike, Gaz, would you agree that opinions are split in the medical community over demonic possession?
Not that I know.
Or would you agree that...
Yeah, they're split into everyone that says it's bollocks and him.
Or maybe
That's
maybe the odd doctor priest?
Well, yeah.
Or
And
maybe.
look, just because you've got fucking degrees from 2 universities doesn't mean that you can't be a religious bellend.
Yeah, or just a fucking raving lunatic, in all fairness.
Just remember that fucking meme I sent you the other day? It was like some fucker tweeted like, never mind facts, like sort of God is stronger than that, it's faith,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
facts don't apply, so even in the face of facts that prove otherwise, you've got to go with faith. What the
Yeah, so I read a quote similar to that where some bloke was like, if the Bible said that 2 + 2 = 5, I'd look at the Bible, try to understand it, but then accept it anyway. Yeah, but 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5.
But it's
No.
in the Bible.
Yeah, it's like a geologist that believes in God. And he says, even though my scientific people say that these dinosaurs are so many billion years old,
Yeah.
you know, I have to believe in the book and the good, you know, the good word of God. Do you know what I mean? He's a geologist.
The thing is, that's just a waste of education. That's just a waste of time, him doing that,
Yeah.
if that's the
I saw
conclusion he's
him
going to come
have
to.
an interview with, a debate with
Dawkins, hopefully.
Dawkins. It was Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to try a new one, isn't he, to be fair. Dawkins is pretty shit off the old debating.
Dr. Richard Gallagher.
So, with 25 years of experience under his belt as a private psychiatrist that complements his 2 teaching positions at both New York Medical College and Columbia University, I think Columbia's quite prestigious.
Sack him.
Dr. Gallagher believes he holds a unique vantage point in discerning between human and non-human or satanic behaviour. Friend of the show, Satan, give him a shout out. He insinuated to the Telegraph, that's the UK Telegraph, during a recent interview that demons know full well how to trick human beings because they possess far more advanced cognitive faculties. They routinely use these mental smarts, quote, to control the humans they possess, causing many of them to commit atrocities and other evils against people and life forms. Dr. Gallagher says, hang on, his quote is saying, they're very, very smart. These beings occupy the demonic realm. The intelligence level of a fallen angel, which is what I call them, is far superior to human beings.
Here's a question.
Okay.
So demonic possessions, that's the sort of thing that could happen in the Ghostbusters universe, isn't it?
Yeah, ghost possession.
So because there's ghosts in the Ghostbuster universe, does that mean that God exists in the Ghostbuster universe? Like hell and heaven?
I guess so, there's got to be... But then again, Ray's an atheist, he says in the film. What Winston says to him, what do you think of Jesus? He's like, never met him.
When they're driving.
So Ray's an atheist, he's a scientist. So, but he also catches ghosts for a living. But then again, is that a spirit? But do they catch
ghosts? It might have
ghosts?
nothing to do with God. It's a dimensional thing, maybe.
It might be a dimensional thing, or it could be some kind of just, I don't know, imprint of the way they. I mean, why did Slimer end up as a blob rather than a really fat guy?
Yeah. Why wasn't he? Didn't he come back in his human?
Maybe they're
form?
aliens.
Wow, that's an outside take. Fair play.
Interdimensional. I go for something, some sort of dimension crossover.
Dimensions. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty. I think I've just hit on a very deep philosophical question that someone should write a paper on in uni. Does God exist in the Ghostbuster universe?
But then again, saying that, wasn't the rituals being done by the guy on top of the skyscraper in Spook Central? Wasn't that that was a trans-dimensional thing, wasn't it? Bring through the gods who were here but were banished, or bring through the interdimensional beings that were here and banished. Gozer. You know, and the old Zool dogs.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Could I put a pause in it for a second though while we ponder the existence of God?
I'm sure it's been happening for the last 2,000 years, isn't it? I'm sure it went over 5 minutes.
That's it, pretty much, isn't it?
So, demonic possession, it's rife. We've had several articles on that, actually, over the last year or so.
Yeah, it's people just trying to explain away everything getting shittier in general.
Yeah, well, can we scroll back down, because that was awesome, that little quote there at the end. It was from the Pope directly.
The Pope?
The Pope himself.
A quote from the Pope?
The Pope. Pope Francis himself.
Was it, "Come here, little one"?
No.
No.
No. It was about demonic possession, funnily enough.
You're mine, little one.
Pope Francis has also commented on the phenomenon, explaining to his followers that Satan is indeed, quote, "a real being who's roaming the earth to devour souls like a lion."
Prove it!
Pretty fucking metal, though.
It is metal as fuck, but prove it.
Yeah.
He's saying that as if it's factual information. Yeah. Satan is a real being. Oh, what? He's a man, like in the films, Devil's Advocate and all that.
I love that film.
You know, is that what he's saying? Does he look like Al Pacino?
Hopefully.
You know, young Al Pacino.
I'd be like, wow, I'm nice, you know.
Ooh-ah.
He does do a lot of wooing in that film as well, actually.
You've got a great ass.
When he fucks Keanu Reeves' wife, he's like, well, let's just say that, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being extremely normal, 10 being the most fucked up shit you've ever done in your life, I'd say it was 11. Oh, wow.
Well,
wow.
Cheers, Al.
Right.
Good movie, though. I do like that movie.
What's happening then?
Should we move on?
What's next one?
Alien metal brought to Earth on meteor that killed dinosaurs could cure cancer.
That's metal as fuck.
Very metal.
Yeah, we should do alien metal.
What a fucking headline.
Is that like a subgenre of the solar war and alien metal?
Well, no, it's a genre of music. Alien
assimilate, assimilate.
You could probably get 10,000 people screaming that.
Assimilate, assimilate. Yeah, so
well, dress up as
should we read it?
Creepy, sexless dudes.
Could I read this one?
Why would I want to be in a band and dress as sexless dude?
Do alien metal.
Do alien metal.
Can I read this one?
The whole point of being in a band is to use your dick as much as possible.
Okay. The Greys haven't got a dick.
Yeah, but I would like. I have.
Can we please? I'm going to read this one, and I would like to draw attention to the name of the man who wrote it. Could we scroll ever so slightly back up? Mark Waghorn. Don't wag your horn at me. Mark with your horn. An alien metal brought to Earth on the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs could cure cancer. Wow.
Alien
you win
metal.
some, you lose some. Do you know what I mean? All the dinosaurs dead, but in the future, It's going to be
I'm
known
kind
as...
of glad they're dead in a way, because if I was walking home tonight and I had to be on my guard for raptors hiding in people's hedgerows,
Clever girl.
I see one in front of me, and then hear a rustle in the hedgerow next to me.
And the claw ticking.
Clever girl, and then I'm just attacked. You know, I don't want that, so I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's up for them.
I don't have to go home carrying a 12 gauge against raptor attack.
Yeah. Okay, known as a iridium.
Pterodactyl swooping in the sky at me. Oh fuck! Bang bang.
They get safe as a T-Rex around the corner.
The T-Rex moves into the neighbourhood. The fucking theatre called out.
Nah, a lot of them get stabbed. They get stabbed and mugged quite a lot.
T-Rexes are carrying wallets, Gaz.
This is Telford.
Watch how this majestic gang of chavs brings down the T-Rex. I'm nothing but Swiss Army knives.
No, they're butcher's knives from their mum's kitchen block. Anyway,
sorry.
Known as iridium, it's the world's rarest element.
Wow.
Woo.
I thought that was that's vibranium.
Yeah, well,
isn't it unobtainium?
Unobtainium, yeah.
No, it's not on Earth. Fucking obtainium.
Blasting
Fucking
it
it's
with a
shitty
laser beam
decision making.
produces a poisonous form of oxygen that is deadly for tumour cells and harmless for healthy ones.
Woo!
Experiments showed it penetrates the nucleus of cancer cells by latching onto the blood protein albumin. It could revolutionise treatment for the deadliest forms of the disease, say the British scientists. It becomes toxic only when exposed to light, an existing treatment known as photodynamic therapy. Dinosaurs, if you didn't know, ruled the earth millions of years ago.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought they died out last Thursday.
Thanks for telling us that.
I remember that 12 gauge.
6,000 years ago, Ben.
Oh, sorry, according to
Yeah,
some parts of the
isn't it?
church, 6,000 years ago.
Well, they'll
No,
be
we lived
pleased
with
to
them.
know that activates the metal to kill them through oxidization, where the cell's own oxygen is converted into a lethal form. Vitally, healthy tissue is unaffected. Professor Peter Sadler from the Department of Chemistry at Warwick University said, "It's amazing! This large protein can penetrate into cancer cells and deliver iridium, which can kill them selectively on activation with visible light." Wow.
Once you run out of that alien metal from the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, what are we doing then?
Mine asteroids.
Well, are they going to fucking start implementing it then and giving
Big
it to
Pharma
people?
will be onto that.
Yeah.
When are they going to start giving it to people? It doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't. No.
So you're fucking useless, Professor.
Yeah, basically.
Do we need any more? Not really, do we?
No, I think that's the.
When you go into how it's done, but
Yeah, that's a bit too technical. You can look it up if
Well,
you really want to listen.
He says that it's certainly no time to try to make good medical use of the iridium delivered to us by an asteroid 66 million years ago.
Yeah, make a shield out of it for fuck's sake.
Because Captain America, you need him. Where is he, Gaz?
Don't ask me.
apparently platinum is already used in over half of cancer chemotherapies.
Well, I'll tell you where he is. Sorry, mate. You want to know where Captain America is if he was real? He'll be in Venezuela working for the American government to overthrow the fucking Venezuela. You know, he's a fucking pawn.
Yeah, it's a sad thing at the camp.
But he does realise in the end and go against his own government.
That's true. Civil War, great film. Love Civil War.
I love that it was. Have you ever read the book? The comic?
Yes, many years ago.
Cap ends up beating the shit out of. Spoilers if you listen. He beats the shit out of the Punisher, and it's an awesome scene. Like they end up rescuing the Punisher, and they need anyone to be on their side. So they're like, "Yeah, we'll take him back to our base." But it's all sort of good guys, some bad guys working together. While in the base, Punisher spots somebody he knows, who he knows is a criminal. Just gets out a machine gun and like blasts the shit out of him, and just murders him.
Oh fuck yeah!
And Cap is literally like, "What the actual fuck?" Like, you just murdered them in cold blood, and he's
Punisher
like,
just lets him do it. He just lets Cap beat
respects
him
him
up.
as a military. Like, he's like, "I'm not going to fight back." He'd have got his ass kicked anyway. I digress, but that
What
was
do you
it.
think?
Yeah,
Oh,
Cap's a
sorry.
super soldier.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought the other way around then. Yeah.
No.
Absolutely, yeah, he would have, but
still respect that he let himself get.
he just did let himself get beat up, didn't he? Because he's like, no, I respect you too much. There you go.
Fair enough. Love it. Right, what are we doing? Is it time for?
For Alex.
If I could do a drum roll, I would.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
So this is the favourite game show in this flat where Mike finds us a couple of random weirdos from the internet who he puts up against the patron saint of the criminally insane. Not criminally, maybe. Well, no,
Soon to be.
Soon to be.
Soon to be
Soon to
criminally.
be. Insane Alex Jones. And then we decide who has gone more full Alex this week. Remember, it's okay to go a little bit Alex. Half Alex is alright. 3/4 Alex, maybe. Never full Alex.
No.
Never go full Alex. So, who we got first, Mike?
First up, world's creepiest Trump supporter has a George Soros tramp stamp.
Okay. Well, that's a contradiction in terms.
Yep.
God bless Trump and God bless America.
Go Trump! Go Trump! Go Trump! Go Trump! Go Trump!
So, that's Obama. That's Hillary Clinton. Who's that? Oh, down there, Osama bin Laden?
No, that's the Ayatollah Khomeini, and the worst enemy of the United States is on top. Don't you know who that is?
On top,
George Soros.
So he's got Hillary, Obama, the Ayatollah.
so on your back you got George Soros, Hillary Clinton, Obama, and the Ayatollah?
As negative, not positive.
Right.
You can see Michael the Archangel casting the demon into the abyss, and then you have below them the enemies of the United States and its Constitution.
So can you explain why Soros, Obama, Clinton, and the Ayatollah are the enemies of the state?
Oh, come on, you know that. If you don't know that, you shouldn't be at a Trump rally. That means that you are...
I'm just trying...
You're 101 if you don't know George Soros is the biggest, largest donator to anti-American causes.
I know that he's a huge Democratic donor.
No, he's not accused. He's the backer of...
No, a huge Democratic donor.
It's not Democrat. There's no Democrat Republic. There's progressive, left-wing, American-hating, constitutional rights for the United States of America, and then on the right there's conservatives. It's not Democrat Republican anymore, and that's why people get fooled. They listen to the media about Republicans and Democrats. It's not that way anymore. It is enemies of the United States, and then there's the constitutionalists that are for the way our forefathers saw the United States of America.
Well, so Soros was just sent a bomb as well as two of the other people on the back of your back.
Obama, we're going to take a long time to straighten out the damage that Obama did to this country. It's going to take a long time. Not. Hopefully, Trump is going to be here 8 years and he'll do a big dent of it, but it's going to take longer than that.
What do you think of the bomb sent to Soros?
I think that was a ploy. They weren't even set to go off. It wasn't even it was a political stunt, not a real stunt. If it was a real stunt, then they would have been geared to go off, and that's not right for anybody to do that. You do what I do, and you have a political opinion like this. This is not a shirt. This is what I believe, and it's on my back to prove it. And by the way, I worked with Donald Trump at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. He was a great man then, and he's an even greater man now. And the only reason why I have something like this is because he's the President of the United States.
Well, I didn't reckon much to his back tat, to be fair. I don't do shit.
Imagine.
I mean...
Obama, Hillary, the Ayatollah, and George Soros on top, because he's a master of...
Being cast into hell by the Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was a very good tattoo. It was bollocks.
The Ayatollah!
Well, I mean, and he didn't have any other tattoos, so it's like, in the last couple of years, that man has been to a tattooist and went, I want a giant back piece, and I want it to be this.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't very, well, it was really some really dodgy fucking backstreet right wing tattooist who didn't mind doing it, so... Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So, why did he put his shirt back on at the end? Do you think he was a bit embarrassed by the end?
He's not embarrassed, is he?
No, he put his shirt back on. He was a pink shirt on.
Showed it to the camera?
He wanted to look
He's
cool.
proud of it?
I thought he was looked like a fatter Ric Flair.
He did. He looked like a Ric Flair wannabe. But that
also,
would have been a better video if at the end he went, woo! And, like, walked off in the Ric Flair, you know.
Yeah, it would have been, actually. Yeah, you're right. And I noticed that the big wraparound shades to probably conceal his identity a little bit.
Or because it's an extremely sunny place.
No, I'm thinking if he's he's got that on his back for a reason. If he was that proud of it, he'd have it down his arms.
Ben, he was showing off on camera. He's telling him.
with his face covered partially.
Oh, he's proud of it. You can tell in his voice.
He's not.
He's proud of it there.
He's wearing sunglasses.
He's proud of it. Yeah, that's enough to put your identity out.
Yeah, but I don't think that's his reasoning. But so she, in the background, it's very clearly a very.
Obviously, when he goes back to his little desk job wherever he works.
No, it's him.
Oh, that hair actually.
Exactly. I mean, you can still identify someone who's
Well,
got
he's still
sunglasses on.
He's still a bit fucking crazy, though, isn't he?
Well, obviously he's a fucking knobhead, but the last line was the most telling one. The only reason I have this tattoo is because Trump's president. Having Trump as a president gives these people the confidence to like come out with their, which they're entitled to, as long as they're not, And then to his credit, he did say bombing people's not right.
Yeah. He did say that.
That's one thing.
Well, he also didn't deny the fact they were sent bombs. Oh, they weren't designed to go off, so it's all right.
He basically said it was a false flag, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're off to a good start. That's just your average Trump man on the street.
Yep.
MAGA man. All right, who we got next then?
Next up, we got Mark Taylor.
Oh,
Firefighter Prophet, is he?
Firefighter Prophet, exactly, yeah.
He says,
we had him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says the arrests of Obama and Clinton have already happened in the spirit.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have civil unrest whether we like it or not. So that's coming. That's coming. It's just a matter of how bad is it going to be. They're trying to educate people of what's coming. If you notice on Fox the other night, they played something about the Clintons and all their stuff that's been going on for years. Now, why are they doing that? Why all of a sudden would Fox do that? It's because simple fact is they're trying to prepare the people for what's coming. They're trying to educate people that these are criminals. These guys are not patriots. They have committed treasonous acts, and they're going to go down. Now, we've got to be careful how we do it. There's a fine line, like you said, because a civil unrest could get really bad, and it turns into a civil war, which is what we don't want, because you don't want someone like the UN or you want some other foreign country coming here and invading us right in the middle of a civil war. So this is where we got to be careful. But the bottom line is this. I got this word right here. It's full of prophetic words that God has given me. They're God's words. I give all the glory to God for it, the Lord Jesus himself. But the Lord said justice is coming. This is what people have to stand on. Justice is coming. I have said in there that the Clintons were going to go down, or God has said that the Clintons were going to go down, Obama was going to go down. It doesn't matter how long it takes. The bottom line is it has been spoken, it has been decreed, it's done and over with. It's already happened in the spirit. Now it just has to manifest in the natural. So people just need to sit back and relax and get your popcorn. Watch the show, folks.
Wow. Wow.
It's been
so
decreed.
because I said it would happen, and it hasn't happened. But
God said it would happen.
God said it happened. It happened in the spirit. They're arrested in spirit. They're not aware of it, but they're arrested in spirit. But it's gonna happen
anytime.
So I'm right. I am right. Honestly, I'm right. None of my prophecies have come fucking true because I spent 3 prophecies about fucking Nibiru. But anyway, none of them have come true.
Ben, make a wish.
Anything?
Anything you want.
Do I have to tell you?
No.
You do it yourself. Right.
You made a wish?
Yeah.
I promise you, he has decreed.
Right.
It will come true. But it's got to take time.
All right.
You've just got to sit back and get your popcorn.
Oh, all right.
And wait it out.
Okay.
And trust me. Do you think he believes his own bullshit?
No, I think he's making too much money out of it to just keep spouting more.
Fucking prophecy. Look at him with his Britney Spears microphone and his shitty little home office. Like, oh, I've got direct contact with God, I have.
Yeah, in my office.
Have you, Mark? My name's Mark. Oh, hello, I'm Mark Taylor.
Prophetic voice, Mark Taylor.
The prophetic voice, Mark Taylor, with the direct
That's
link
like
to
giving yourself a shit wrestling name. Coming in, the defending champion.
The prophetic voice. Give me the microphone.
He just does bad.
I am going to lose this match. 1, 2, 3. See? I told you. The prophetic voice.
Blow in the next one.
Oh man. Fuck this fucking lunatic.
What's Alex got?
Dangerous bastards. spouting their shite.
Alex is talking about the Rosicrucians.
Okay.
What are they?
The real Illuminati.
I've heard the Rosicrucians before. They're people, aren't they?
They are.
From a time.
From a time
in
history. Indeed, they are. That's what we all have done. You've narrowed it down.
I got there,
You've narrowed it down to absolutely everybody that's ever existed. Fantastic. It's worth a round of applause.
History is not my strong point, but I try. Thank you very much. I got there.
So,
I don't know if it was to do with the Knights Templar.
You know what? I honestly don't know. It's something to do with the Illuminati. And possibly
Alex will tell us.
But Alex will inform us.
No, he'll shout it at us aggressively.
He'll sink him better that way.
Does he scream in this
I
one?
can't remember. We'll find out.
Probably.
Listen, here's what happened yesterday. So I'm listening to your program. It's the middle of the day. I had a day off. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a nap. Like anything, I thought, I just started Googling your name, because I enjoy your show. And I'm very intrigued with what you do. And I thought, well, I'll just get a little bit more information. And boom, out of nowhere, I read this article that says that you're a Freemason. Now, let me first of all say that I haven't met a Freemason that I haven't liked.
I have to probably say that I have major Masonic roots. I have never been part of a Masonic lodge. I've never taken Masonic oaths or rituals. A lot of my family, because Texas was pretty much Masonic through and through, was Masonic, high-level Masonic. And they were very, very good people. George Washington was a Mason. And all it is a university study of religions, of philosophy, and of building, and of mathematics, and of agrarian systems. And so what you see as Masons today is just those schools going on. And there have been hundreds of different variants and groups and Rosicrucian orders within the Masons, and the Illuminati, founded in Germany, was a counter-Illuminati to the real Illuminati. Sir Francis Bacon, all of that, hundreds of years before the Jesuit priest Adam Weishaupt. The modern Illuminati was a Catholic spin-off in an attempt to take over the Illuminati and the Rosicrucians. And yes, undoubtedly, my family on both sides on the Mayflower, hardcore Protestants, you could say Rosicrucians. This country was founded by real Rosicrucians, not the Rosicrucians you see out there today. And so, undoubtedly, if you want to say it, I would say I come out of a classical Enlightenment family of what you would call real Illuminati, real Enlightenment. And I'll just say it here. Everybody asks me who I am, I'll tell you. There's no secret society. There's no secret messages. There's no secret handshakes. There's freedom. There's Jesus Christ. There's free market. There's family. There's the will to fight tyrants. That's what there is. The will to fight evil. The will to build a new civilization. The will and the dream to build that new Atlantis was special and was pure. And now the globalists have hijacked the new Atlantis, and they've used it to take over the world and sell the opposite of what this country was founded on, and it tears my heart out. So it's easy for lesser men to write an article claiming I'm in some secret society and a Mason. I'm in the society of humanity. There are no secrets.
What's your entire show built on, you babbling fucking idiot? There are no secrets. Next day, what you talked about on the show the next day then, Alex? But, fuck it. For me, this week, I think...
You go back through it? He was first.
Oh, yeah,
first,
recap.
So we had old Ric Flair telling everyone that George Soros is and Obama and Hillary and the Ayatollah. And who was the other one?
That was it.
Oh, that was it. They're being cast into hell by the Archangel Michael. And he's got that tattoo on his back. And that's because they're the greatest enemies in America.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo!
Then we had prophetic voice, Mark Taylor.
Obama
basically,
Clinton.
yeah, the Obama and Hillary have been arrested in spirit but not in the flesh. But I was right nonetheless, because I'm saying I'm right.
And Alex admitting he's Illuminati, real Illuminati, lighted.
Yeah, enlightened individual.
He thinks he's fucking Buddha, doesn't he? Looks like him.
An angry Buddha.
Angry Buddha.
But yeah, so Alex saying I'm not a Mason.
That'd be a good band name, wouldn't it?
Anti-Buddha.
Angry Buddha.
Angry Buddha.
Anyway, sorry.
So you're Alex saying, I'm not a Mason, I'm not part of the Illuminati, but my family are, and I know loads of people that are, and it's nothing dodgy. It's just all about worshipping God and the school of mathematics and science and blah blah blah.
Jesus Christ!
And Jesus Christ.
Wanting to create the new Atlantis.
The new Atlantis, the new world order, which he's constantly going on about.
But he says the globalists have hijacked it for their own evil purposes.
Global cabal.
So he's part of the good Illuminati.
The counter-Illuminati was formed in Bavaria, that's right, yes. So he's part of the true Illuminati.
His dad was a fucking dentist in Texas.
And a Mason, a high-ranking Mason on both sides, remember?
For me, it's guy number 2 this week, because he thinks he's connected to God and...
He thinks he's getting prophecy, yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He's just very mentally ill.
Yeah.
Mark Taylor gets
Alex was just bigging himself up again, like, oh, I'm totally connected to the Mason family, and by the time I was 17, I'd slept with 500 adult women.
And
really beautiful women.
And won fist fights.
Yeah, I used to fist fight guys twice my age when I was 12. It's just, he's doing one of them again this week.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying to you, basically, not quite but nearly, I'm not far off royal. You know what I mean? I'm the best blood you can get in this country.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Alex. I like you, Alex, but I also hate you.
Saint Alex.
Saint Alex, sorry. Patron saint of the show.
One of them. Part of the Holy Trinity.
Well, yeah, so there you go. What do you think, boys?
Yeah, I go with number 2. I'll go with the prophetic voice. Who hasn't prophesied a single fucking thing correctly?
Pathetic voice.
The pathetic voice.
Well, good luck to the people of Venezuela. I mean that.
Yeah,
there's not a lot I can do to help you, but you'll be alright eventually.
When the US invades you.
Oh shit. Generals gathered in their masses.
Didn't do very well in the Iraq with civilian casualties, did they?
Should we try and end on a happy note?
Any happy, weird news this week?
Something pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Well, hey, climate change, 30 years, the planet will be uninhabitable anyway.
Wow.
Good night, folks! And if you've had fun, please tune back in next week for more shits and giggles with the boys from the apocalypse.
Indeed.
Fucking
So, I've been Ben. I want to say don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
I've been Gaz. Thanks for listening, if you have been. And free Biff Tannen and probably, what was her name? Lorraine McFly. You should probably free her as well, but that's a complicated story that I'll explain at another time. Goodbye.
In the Back to the Future special.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, what are you fuck's sake? Oh yeah, he hates those films, doesn't he? Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah. It's actually your film.
I'm going back in time. That is my pick. We've just picked it live on air. Back to the Future special.
Well, I'll tell you what then, you're writing the notes out for that one.
Alright then, I fucking will.
Right, you can spend twice the length of a film that's actually on writing the notes out.
I'll print them off somewhere. It'll be fine. Anyway, let's wrap up the show.
You're going to watch it, you're going to take notes as it's going on, you can
I've seen
detailed
it
summary,
enough times.
quotes.
I can just talk.
No.
Anyway, I really need a wee. Can we wrap it up?
Yeah. Who's on Mike?
Yeah, I'm with Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Oh yeah, cheers. It's my birthday special, so we'll watch all 3 films, Ben.
Hey.
Woo!